Looks like the race for the title will go down to the wire over in the Premier League, as of course the race for the top four. But what about the race to avoid the drop? We'll take a look at that and more next. Prediction video today. We look forward to match number 37 over in the Premier League, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe and keep banging to all things Premier League related, Blabbing related, world football related. We got it all here, boys. And one Roofski, that's right. Of course, we're going to head into a big old week of fixtures here. A bit of a clean up, of course, as we, enter the final couple of weeks over in the Premier League. With, of course, Manchester City still currently top of the table, 3 points clear over Liverpool. But, of course, is the title race already done and dusted? We'll take a look at it, all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They're the patrons, guys. You know who you are. But anyway, let's get into it, of course, and have a look at how we all got on last time around then, shall we? Here are the games. Of course, there were just a handful this past week. Both Liverpool and Manchester City were in action, as were Chelsea as well. And of course, we also had the result of a North London derby, which of course was one-sided. And we'll have a look at the results and your picks in a second. But here we go then. Villa, 2-1 loss to Liverpool. Of course, nervy times it was for Liverpool, but they got over the line in the end. 2-1 win for them. 3-1 was my pick. Leicester City with a 3-0 win over Norwich, who are already down. Of course, back to winning ways for Leicester. They're back up to 10th in the table. And of course, going to try and push up the table in the final. They've got 3 games left, so they could mathematically go 48, 51, 54. They could actually go up to as high as 8th, I think. Meanwhile, Watford, of course, took 2 points off Everton. 0-0 draw in the end. Of course, Everton right here, right now, currently find themselves in 36 points, with on 16th spot in the table. That's 2 points above the drop zone. They could still get sucked into it. We'll see about it in a minute. Leeds, though, got a bit of a spanking by Chelsea, 3-0 loss in the end. Wolves got battered by Man City, 5-1 on the road. And of course, Spurs did a number on Arsenal, 3-0 in the end. As of course they went down to 10 men. But of course it was a very good game indeed. Anyway, take a look at the table. The table looks like this. Of course, Man City 3 points clear and a better goal difference than Liverpool. Of course, they would need to basically drop a couple of clangers here. If they were to pick up, I don't know, probably a point, it might be good enough. As a point, good enough in this next game. That would put them on to 4 points clear. No, it's not good enough. It will go down to the final game, I imagine. But I think if Manchester City were to beat West Ham, you could probably concede the title, which I think Liverpool are on the cusp of conceding the title at the moment. Meanwhile, the race for the top 4 is on point, and of course, the race for top 3 is also on point. It's one with Arsenal and Spurs potentially got a chance to squeak in there above Chelsea, depending on what goes on with them in the final couple of games of the season. Meanwhile, down the foot, of course, we already know Norwich and Watford are down, but who's going to join them? Will it be Leeds? Will it be Burnley? Will it be Everton? Or will it even be Southampton? Of course, could also get sucked into it, but of course, they'll need some snookers if they're going to get dropped into it. Anyway, take a look at, of course, what's going to go on in a second, but these are the picks for the last week. Of course, 6 out of 6 Master Fighter. Max Ngadi up there with 6 as well, and Nanakam also with 6 points. So well done to those guys for doing the business. But what about the mini leaderboard from January onwards? Well, here it is. The man, the myth, the legend. It is Iman Hussein with 96 points, and Max Ngadi up there with also 96 points. 7 points better off than the nearest and dearest. That is, of course, Hans Worst. That's the mini leaderboard. Behind the scenes is the master leaderboard. We'll have, of course, that the result of that in the month of June, of course, when the season comes to a close, and I've had a bit of chance to rest, of course, because it's going to be a bit of a pain in the arse bringing you back up to date with all those kind of things. Anyway, here we go then. Cutley4 Premier League. It's the link. Get in amongst it. We have a bumper episode here, right here. I think about 12 fixtures all in all. So let's get into it, of course, and have a look at these games. Kicking off with Aston Villa up against Crystal Palace, coming at you on Sunday, May the 15th. Be with you now these 2 times, of course, locking horns for the 21st time since 1994. The previous 20, though, 8 wins for Villa, 6 wins for Crystal Palace, and 6 draws, of course. Aston Villa, though, just 1 defeat past 4 for them, 42% form up against Crystal Palace side, 42% form for them also, unbeaten the last 3 games as well. Heading into this, though, on the back of a 3-0 win last time around at Villa Park back in December 2020. That was on Boxing Day. The reverse fixture at Selhurst Park was a 2-1 win for Aston Villa back in November 2021. Palace pick up a 1-0 win over Watford last time around. Of course, Villa with a 2-1 loss against Liverpool. The odds coming at you for this one. We have even seen so Aston Villa 5-2 is draw and 11-4 is your away win. That's, of course, Crystal Palace. I'm backing, of course, Stevie G's boys here with a 2-0 win for them, pushing up the table, getting a bit of momentum going. Maybe going to be the banana skin for Manchester City on the final game of the season. Kicking off all though, Everton up against Brentford. Must-win game for Everton on this one. And I think if they win here, they're going to be safe as ours is. Now, they played each other 3 times since 2010. 1 for Everton, 2 for Brentford, and 0 draws. Of course, just 1 defeat of the past 6, though, for Everton right now. They look good. 67% form for them up against the Brentford side. Also looking good. Just 1 defeat past 6, 75% form. Also heading into this match. Last time around, they're over at Goodison Park. It was a 1-0, 4-1 win for Everton back in February 2022. That was in the FA Cup. The reverse fixture, of course, at Brentford was a 1-0 win for Brentford back in November. That was their match number 13. Everton pick up a 0-0 draw against Watford, of course, and Brentford with a 3-0 win over Southampton last time around. The odds for this one, though, we've got 21-20 Everton, 13-5 is short, and 5-2 is your away win. That is, of course, Brentford on this one. I'm backing a 1-0 win for Everton on this one to take it to the house and, of course, end any relegation fears as they enter the final game of the season. Meanwhile, Southampton up against Liverpool over at St Mary's, coming at you on Tuesday, May the 17th. Be with you now, these two sides. I played the 47 times in 1983, 12 wins for Southampton, 26 wins for Liverpool, and 9 draws. Just 1 win in the last 6 for Southampton right now. 25% form up against the Liverpool side. Unbeaten in the last at least 6 games, maybe more than that. 92% form for them heading into this match. Last time around, over at St Mary's, there was a 1-0 win for Southampton back in January 2021. And match number 17, of course, the reverse fixture, a 4-0 win for Liverpool at Anfield back in November 2021. Southampton picked up a 3-0 loss against Brentford. Of course, Liverpool with a 2-1 win over Aston Villa this past midweek. The odds for this one, though, coming at you on Tuesday is 50-2 is your Southampton, 4-1 is your draw, and 11-4 on is your Liverpool, of course. And before all that, Liverpool do have a small matter of the FA Cup final up against Chelsea at Wembley. So, of course, a jam-packed schedule for Liverpool, but I do anticipate a 2-0 win for them over Southampton, as, of course, they try to do the quadruple. That's right. They need to win, don't they? I mean, Watford up against Leicester City, of course, is getting to the deep end on this one. Then, shall we? Of course, coming at you at Vicarage Road, it's the Claudio Ranieri derby. Is that right? Claudio Ranieri derby? Played 38 times in 93, 10 wins for Watford, 20 wins for Leicester, and 8 draws. We've got Watford coming to this on 8% form for them. Won the last 7 games up against the Leicester side. Just 1 win and 6 of them, 33% form heading into this match as well. Last time around over at Vicarage Road, it was a 1-1 draw back in June 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, at the King Power was a 4-2 win for Leicester back in November 2021. They also played each other this season in the FA Cup. That was back in January 2022. That was in the round 3 of the FA Cup. It was a 4-1 win for Leicester as well. Leicester have scored 8 goals in the last 2 games against Watford, but both of those were at the King Power as well. Leicester picked up a 3-0 win over Norwich. Of course, Watford with a 0-0 draw against Everton. It's been back-to-back games now without a goal for Watford as they enter the final 2 games of the season. 14-5 is your Watford, 13-5 is your draw, and even Stevens is your Leicester. I think it's going to be a 1-0 win for Watford. I think they're going to get Roy a little bit of a parting gift as he considers retirement again, perhaps. 1-0 win for Watford, and of course, denting Leicester's top 10 hopes into the final couple of games of the season. Leeds United up against Brighton, must-win game over at Ellen Road, of course. Would a Bielsa have done it? Would Bielsa have kept them out of trouble? I probably think so. You know, he knows how to work this thing. I think Jesse Marsch he's gonna find a little bit of egg on his face at the end of the season. Anyway, up against, of course, Potter at Ellen Road. Played each other 25 times, 2004, 6 wins for Leeds, 12 wins for Brighton, and 7 draws. Of course, just 1 win and 6 there for Leeds right now, 33% form. Up against the Brighton side, of course, looking very, very good. 75% form for them, just 1 defeat of the past 6 games for them as well. Heading into this, of course, over at last round at Ellen Road was a 1-0 win for Brighton back in January 2021. The reverse fixture at the Amex, I was in Brighton back in November, was a 0-0 draw. Brighton haven't conceded a goal against Leeds in the last 3 occasions, scoring 3 goals without return over the last 3 games. Meanwhile, Leeds pick up a 3-0 loss against Chelsea. Of course, Brighton with a 4-0 win for Manchester United last round. Wow, indeed. The odds for this one coming at you, though, Leeds at 13-8 for the Ricky, 13-8 is your Brighton, and 5-2 is your draw. The bookies cannot separate them, but can Leeds get over the line? I'm going to back Leeds here. 2-1 win for them over Brighton. They need to win, otherwise they are going to be playing Championship football again, and that for the town of Leeds, for the city of Leeds, would be absolutely disgraceful, of course, and of course, who knows if they could bounce back at the first attempt with Jesse Marsch at the helm. You know, I don't know if he's the answer. I mean, Newcastle again. I like Jesse Marsch, but you know, sometimes you've got to get the right fit for the right job, and I just don't think Jesse Marsch is the right fit for that job. You know, and he's kind of gone from hero to zero from Salzburg, doing wonders over there. And to be honest with you, it looks like you can't really mess it up with Salzburg at the moment. They've got such a plethora of talent. He goes over to Leipzig, and of course, been a bit of a shit show there, and of course now he's over at Leeds, and it's not really, his stock is taking a massive tumble right here right now. Anyway, Newcastle up against Arsenal. Now this could have major implications for the top 4 at St James's Park. Of course, played 57 times in 1993, 10 wins for Newcastle, 37 wins for Arsenal, and 10 draws. Of course, Newcastle, though, back-to-back defeats for them, 67% form for them. Up against the Arsenal side, have lost twice in the last 6, also 67% form heading into this match as well. Last round, they're over at St James's Park. It was a 2-0 win for Arsenal back in May 2021. The reverse fixture, of course, a 2-0 win for Arsenal back in November at the Emirates as well. So Arsenal 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 games against Newcastle, unbeaten, actually winning run, 6-game winning run, and they haven't conceded a goal against Newcastle in the course of those 6 games as well. However, they come into this on the back of a 3-0 loss to Tottenham, and of course Newcastle come into this on the back of a 5-0 drubbing by City. It's actually been 6 goals without return for Newcastle, back-to-back goalless affairs. The odds for this one though, 10-3 is your Newcastle, 65 Orange at Arsenal, and 13-5 is your draw. I think there's a bit of a banana skin here as well. I think Newcastle will get back into it. 2-1 in the end for Newcastle, and of course rising up the table and denting Arsenal's hopes for top 4. In the process, kicking off, it's Spurs up against Burnley. This win for Newcastle against Arsenal does nothing if Spurs can't get the result up against Burnley. Of course, that's kicking all off on Sunday, May the 15th. Early kickoff on that one. Now, these two sides, of course, locking horns for me for the 23rd time. The previous 22 since 2002 have ended up 13 wins for Spurs, 5 wins for Burnley, and 4 draws. Just one defeat past 6 though for Spurs right now. 67% form up against the Burnley side. Have just lost 1 to the last 5. 58% form for them heading into this match as well. Last time around over at the Fancy Spencer Stadium was a 4-0 win for Tottenham way back in February 2021. The reverse fixture, of course, a 1-0 win for Spurs. Sorry, a 1-0 win for Burnley back at Turd Moor way back, of course, in February 2022. They also played each other in the Carabao Cup. Back in October, it was a 1-0 for Spurs as well. So, Spurs picking up a 3-0 win over Arsenal. Of course, Burnley with that 3-1 loss to Aston Villa. The odds coming actually for this one is 3-1 on your Spurs, 17-4 is your draw, and 8-1 is your bloody away win here. Of course, Spurs can be a bit hot and cold sometimes, perform exceedingly against the big boys, and have a little tumble against the shitters here. But I do think they're going to rely on 3-0 win for them over Burnley to get the 3 points. Kicking off for us, West Ham, excuse me, up against Manchester City. This is where it could go a bit spicy here in the old race for the title. Of course, taking place at London Stadium, plays for the 50 times, so 9-3, 11 wins for West Ham, 31 wins for Man City, and 8 draws. Just 1 win and 6 for West Ham right now, 25% form for them. Up against the Manchester City side, of course, 1 defeat at the past 6, 83% form for them heading into this match as well. Last time around, though, of course, over at West Ham in the league, it was a 1-1 draw. That was back in October 2020. They also played each other this campaign over at the Etihad in the league. It was back in November. It was a 2-1 win for Manchester City back in match number 13. However, they also played each other in the Carabao Cup. It was a 5-3 win for West Ham, maybe penalties. That was back in October. So you just don't know on this one. West Ham comes in on the back of a 4-0 win over Norwich. Of course, Man City with that 5-1 win over Wolves. They've scored 10 goals and we've just conceded the 1 in the process. The odds, though, for this one, 30-2 is your West Ham, 5-2 on is your Man City, 4-1 is your draw. I am a bit of a romantic and I want to get this a little bit spicy. I'm going with a 2-2 draw in the end here. West Ham will get a point. Again, that might be not enough to shake it up. Of course, if Liverpool do win that match, of course, it will go down to a point heading into the final game of the season. So we'll see what happens in the end on that one. Next, of course, we have Wolves up against Norwich coming at you at Molineux as well. This coming, when is it? The 15th of May. Played 38 times in 9-5, 17 wins for Wolves, 12 wins for Norwich, and 9 draws. Of course, just 1 win and 6 for Wolves right now. 25% form up against the Norwich side. Just 1 win and 6, 17% form for them as well. Last time around, over at Wolves, aka Molineux, it was a 3-0 win for Wolves back in February 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, a 0-0 draw at Carrow Road back in November 2021. These two sides also played each other at Molineux back in February in the FA Cup. It was a 1-0 win for Norwich. So back-to-back clean sheets for Norwich heading into this match, but they also come into this on the back of a 3-0 loss to Leicester. They also 4 games now without a goal, conceding what we're looking at 6, 9, 10, 12 goals without scoring. It's a pretty of a shit show there. Meanwhile, Wolves coming to on the way of that 5-1 loss against Manchester City. The odds here, 29 on is your Wolves, 50-4 is your, 11-2. 11-2 is your Norwich here. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Wolves, but a goal scored for Norwich will be like a welcome boost into the final game of the season. But they're down. Remember, they are down. Aston Villa up against Crystal Palace. Scrap that. Aston Villa up against Burnley. Of course, we've done Villa against Palace. Villa up against Burnley now. Of course, it's the midweek game next week, up on the 19th of May. Played each other 12 times, 2004. 5 wins for Villa, 3 for Burnley, and 4 draws. Just 1 defeat the past 4 for Villa. We talked about that already. 42% form up against the Burnley side, 58% form for them. Of course, now these two sides have locked horns at Villa Park. Last time out was a 0-0 draw back in December 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, at Turd Moor was a 3-1 win for Villa back in May 2022. That wasn't too long ago. They just played each other quite recently. In fact, Burnley's last match was against Aston Villa. It was a 3-1 win for Aston Villa. But of course, Burnley taking on Spurs in between the Villa games there. And of course, Villa with a 2-1 loss against Liverpool. Of course, picking up a win though against Crystal Palace in my eyes. I've got no odds on this one, so the odds is in my gut, and my gut says it's going to be a Villa win here, which puts Burnley into trouble into the final game of the season. Back-to-back defeats, back-to-back wins for Villa, of course moving up chains, and of course putting Burnley in trouble. Into the final 2 now we have Chelsea. That's right. Where are you? Of course in FA Cup action on this Saturday, trying to dent Liverpool's quadruple hopes up against a Leicester City side, who are of course trying to make top 10 as well. well. Now, these two sides will lock horns at Stamford Bridge on the 19th of May. Played 37 times in 1994, 21 wins for Chelsea, 7 wins for Leicester, and 9 draws, of course. Chelsea, though, just one defeat past 5 for them, 50% form with the last 6 up against the Leicester side. Just 1 win in the last 6, of course. However, they're also going to be picking up a loss against Watford this past weekend as well. Last time around at Stamford Bridge was a 2-1 win for Chelsea. That was back in May 2021. The reverse fixture, of course, at King Power was a 3-0 win for Chelsea back in November 2021. Leicester pick up a 3-0 win over Norwich. Chelsea with a 3-0 win over Leeds last time around, of course, in the FA Cup, of course, this weekend, which, of course, has got its own video out there, so make sure you check that out. But I do think Chelsea will win this game. 2-0 win for them, denting in Leicester's hopes, really back-to-back defeats. And, of course, could put Rodgers in a bit of trouble here. And maybe Leicester might be exploring something else as well this coming summer. But 2-0 win for Chelsea to wrap that one up. And then wrapping up, of course, it'll be Everton, of course. Another home game, of course, taking on Crystal Palace. Now, these two sides will lock horns on around about the 19th of May. That's right, at Goodison Park. Played 25 times in 1994. 10 wins at Everton, 6 wins to Crystal Palace, and 9 draws, of course. Just one defeated past 6 for Everton right now. And, of course, Crystal Palace unbeaten the last 3, 42% form, of course. Last time around, though, at Goodison Park was a 1-1 draw back in April 2021. Another reverse fixture, of course. A 3-1 win for Crystal Palace back in December, back in match number 16. They also played in the FA Cup. It was a 4-0 win for Crystal Palace at the quarter-final stage back at Selhurst Park in March. Palace pick up a 1-0 win over Watford. Of course, Everton with a 0-0 draw against Watford. Everton, of course, picking up a win against Brentford, and Watford with a win. Palace with a win. Defeat against Aston Villa in the process. 2-0 loss in the end on that one. What did my gut say on this one? I've got no odds here. We're going to go with my gut. My gut says another win for Everton, which again will, of course, eradicate any fears of going down, and they will be back in the Premier League next season, according to my eyes. But would it be Burnley? Would it be Leeds? We'll have to see about that, of course. We'll see all that in the final game of the season, which we will cover right here at Blackburn's Room. So be sure to smash the thumbs up, smash the subscribe, check the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, also Patreon. But until then, boys, we're done right now.